Hey guys, Kev here, and I have 5 knives to talk about today. These are 5 knives that I figured I wanted to show you guys, and they're all very different. I was trying to think about how I could bunch them up, maybe split them up into 2 videos. I was trying to think of similar, that's what I try to do, is come up with themes like crossbar locks or spring lock knives or whatever, right? Well, these are all very different. It's kind of interesting. So I thought we would go ahead and check these puppies out. So the first one here is the Kooby interflow. And this is a James Lowe design. And you may have seen my unboxing of this. And at the time of the unboxing, the detent felt a little bit soft on the flipper tab. Well, I'm happy to say it's really broken in over the last week or so, to where I think it's basically perfect. I mean, I'm always a proponent of a stronger detent, but you know, at some point that thumb stud is just going to start shredding your fingers. And I think it's perfect for the thumb studs, and it's almost perfect for the flipper. So it broke in really nicely. Basically what happened is that detent track just wore in a little bit, which smooths it out a little bit, which makes it fire out of there a little bit quicker. So even if the detent doesn't, you know, get stronger, the action can get better, which will make it feel stronger essentially, because it kind of whips out of there a little bit quicker. But anyway, it feels great. I think James did an absolutely fantastic job on this design. I'm really impressed with it. So congrats to James Lowe. He's been really killing it lately with these designs. This one has a really beautiful frag pattern on the titanium, and then you have blue accents on the hardware, pivot, clip, and the back spacer. Really nice. You also have a lanyard slot right there, and then you have a belt satin. What is this one? M390 blade, and you have a slight hollow grind, a flat up here, so you have a compound grind. You have unbelievable action. I mean, look at that thing just swing down. The perfect action, honestly. Dead nut centered. Kooby is really coming in hot, guys. I talked about it in the unboxing, but to me, this is a competitor to the Chavez knives. And I know you Chavez boys are going to hate that. But, you know, you could pick this up with a discount if you use LeftyEDC over at White Mountain, if they still have them. Or if you go to the Kooby website, I have a code for that as well. It's down below. I think it's LY06LT, something like that, and you'll get 6% off of their price. This thing comes in around 200 bucks. It might be slightly more, but around 200 bucks, and you're getting M390, belt satin, titanium frame and hardware and everything, on bearings with really good action, and a great detent, great pop, and just a great feel. Really comfortable in hand. Can't choke up, but it is very comfortable. Good slicer with that shallow hollow grind, nice and sharp from Kooby. We know they've been doing a great job lately. And yeah, I'm just really impressed with it. And I've gotten addicted to this flipper tab. I was talking about chopping it off in the unboxing, and now it's it's kind of the method I only use on it. So that's why we do follow-ups. That's why we do rapid reviews around here instead of just unbox it and say, oh, you know, I always have changing opinions, because guess what? I ain't perfect, and I'm sure we all know that. But yeah, excellently done. Frame lock. Now, left-handed, not going to be the best. You can thumb flick it really well, and you can reverse flick it. Flip it. But the reverse flick, you have to climb down onto this clip and fire it out. So not ideal left-handed. Now right-handed, it's amazing. You have all the options available to you, and they're all really snappy and fun. And it's a good size too, right? You're looking at about a 3.5-inch blade, 8 inches overall. We can actually get the tape measure out, because I have it here for once. Sorry, my hands are a little dirty from some yard work. 3.5 inches, 8 inches, nailed it. Just fabulous. So that is the Kooby Interflow. Definitely check that one out. Then we have another similar one. This is the Concept Shard. And this is a new release from Concept. Now, it's an existing model, but they upgraded it. So you have titanium handles with a flame tie, which is really nice. I much prefer this flame tie over lightning anno. And what they upgraded on this was they made the detent stronger. So now it's a legitimate detent. They have this big old flipper tab, but before it would just kind of flop out of there. And now it really fires out of there. It's very comfortable. And then they put the hole in the fuller out a little more. So you can actually access it with your finger there and reverse flick it. Because the detent's good, it is a little bit tight, but there you go. You can get it out, grab that fuller, flick it, grab that hole, flick it, giggity, that's what she said. The action on the close is pretty good. And left-handed, surprisingly, I was able to fire it out pretty easily. I mean, if I rest up here, probably not. Oh, but yeah, great ergonomics as well on this. You have great lines right here, and it just fits my hand really well. Again, you can't choke up on this, but very comfortable. The tip of the clip is a little bit pokey, but it's not bad. That's left-handed. Right-handed, you don't even feel it. Now, this one has a machine satin, and that's where Kooby wins on that one. Having that beautiful belt satin is just absolutely wonderful. So, I mean, if I had to choose between these two, I'd probably go interflow just because of its, I don't know, it just has a cool factor. James really killed it on that. This one has good action as well. I did glue it, dead centered. Had to get it pretty tight to center it up. So there's no play at all. So it's still breaking in a little bit. The interflow definitely just drops. But this one's getting there. Really cool design. I think they've really improved the shard. I obviously want this blade shape versus the drop point on the interflow because I can get down and use that utility tip, which is really nice. This one's going to be a similar size. I'm guessing around 3.6 on this one. Nope, a little under 3.5 and a little under 8 overall. So it's a slightly smaller knife compared to that interflow. I was on the lock bar there. So there you go, size-wise, you can see. I'll put a link down below to Concept Knives. You can use my links. That'll be in the description for all of these. It does help the channel if you do that, but completely up to you guys. So that is the Concept Shard. Really impressed with that re-release. The next one here is from Giant Mouse. This is the Ace Riv in JG10 and Blackwash. And I just like this one personally because of the size, the ergonomics. You know, Box and Anso just kill it on that. And then this blade finish is just impressive. It is a really sick looking Blackwash. Almost seems like an acid etch, to be honest. It's really nice. Magna Cut, somewhere around 62 from Viper Knives. Super comfortable in hand. You have that pear-shaped hole. Great to reverse flick. Good detent on this one. Flipper tab works excellently. And, of course, you can reverse flick it. And then you have that Vox-style jimping crown spine. This is just a killer little fifth pocket knife or EDC knife for pretty much anyone. And you know what? I'm not a jade guy, but I really do like this one right here. So that's the Ace Riv. And then we have a bruiser from the US here. This is the ZT Knives 308. And this is with a carbon fiber plate scale. I mean, it is absolutely beautiful. You have a steel liner under there, but that carbon fiber is just milled to perfection. Now, I did look this one up, and it is available at retailers. So I thought it was maybe an exclusive. It's a factory limited special or something. So I don't know exactly what that means because it's available at all the dealers, but I found a link to it on Blade HQ. I'll link that down below if you're interested. It is a bit pricey, $400, I believe, or $420 on this one. But you got to understand, this is chunks of carbon fiber, titanium, and M390. And this puppy is made in the United States of America in ZT's, Kai USA's, Tualatin factory. So, you know, you're getting U.S. manufacturing here. If you compare the materials and the build to tactile knives or Chris Reeve or whatever. I think the price point actually falls in line there at $420. You know, Chris Reeves right now, Sabenzas are climbing up, I think, around the 600 mark. Tactile knives, let's say you could compare this to their Archer model. I'd say the quality is basically the same. You're going to get a more consistent QC from ZT here. But build quality wise, it's about the same. And that knife is like 600 bucks. This is 420. You know, the clip is going to be a little nicer on that one. And so, you know, it does make some sense there. But if you look at Tactile's other knives or some of these other companies making knives in the US, I think this is actually a very respectable price. I know $420 is a lot, but ZT knives are quality. The only thing that I've had an issue with on this one is the centering being off. I've had a couple people tell me theirs was the same when they got a 308, but there's no play, and I have skiff bearings in here, and I got it as best as I could. And you know what? That doesn't bother me. It's fine. I want to point it out to you, but it doesn't bother me in the long run. This is a big bruiser. Now, I guess I would say if I paid $420 for this, the centering would bother me. I would just ask the dealer to swap it out for me is what I would do. I don't think it would stop me from, you know, spending that money on the knife. But I would want one that is perfectly centered. But Kai ZT was kind enough to send me this knife, so I'm not going to sit here and complain about it too much. But again, if I spent the money, yes, that would for sure be something I would bring up to them. But I'm not going to do that with this one since it was sent to me. It's super comfortable in the hand. Really, really comfortable. It's a big boy. Not in the sense that it's super long. We talked about this before in the disassembly, but if you look at this guy, it's 3.75 inch blade, right? 3.8 inch or 9 inch cutting edge. And then you have a 8 3/4, 8.8 inch overall frame. So it's not like this monstrosity like an 80-10 or something like that, in my opinion. It's just a big boy. Like, it's tall. It's got that just tank feel to it. It's got what you guys, you know, what a lot of you guys want in a ZT. I think that's important. I mean, it is bank vault lockup. I know a lot of guys have talked about ZTs and them failing. I've never tried it. I don't really do much spine whacking anymore, but there you go. The action has broken in incredibly well on these skiffs. Just the more that I flip it, the more that it wants to drop shut. So it will at some point be a guillotine again. And that detent is by far the best thing about this knife, in my opinion. It just absolutely rocket ships out of there. The kathunks you get on this thing are incredible. I've talked about this again in my disassembly, but ZT really is the brand that made me, Kershaw ZT, Kai is the brand that made me a detent snob. They've just always been excellent at dialing in detents on liner locks and frame locks. They're not afraid to go strong, you know? And I feel like most companies, for some reason, are afraid to go strong on detent, and they end up with these soft, putrid feeling detents. This one just feels super snappy. So this is an excellent knife. Is it my style? No. But I can still go ahead and tell you guys it's a fantastic knife. If it is your style, I wouldn't be mad at you if you picked one of these up. So I'll put the link below. No lash, no nothing. No issues at all except that little bit of centering there. So yeah, ZT308, banger. And then the last one here is the new Vased torus that I checked out the other day as well with that rib. So I don't want to spend too much time on it, but this thing's actually really cool. It's got this thumb disc. I'm just not a thumb disc guy. I tend to kind of slip over them and stuff. This one's probably the best one I've tried. You can see here I'm able to kind of reliably thumb flick it and reverse flick it. Missed it there. But it depends on your thumbs. If you got, you know, rough thumbs, I think it'll be just fine. If you have smooth thumbs, you wear a lot of conditioner, you know, that or moisturizer, whatever that's called. Clearly, I do not. Probably need to. Then I think this one's going to be an issue in that sense. But if you have rougher hands or just dry hands, I think it's going to be fine. And you just learn to get up under that disc and fire it. And get under it with the reverse flick and flick it. D10 is pretty good on it. I should say spring tension's pretty good on it. It's got a great rollout, and it has wonderful ergonomics. I really like the feel in hand. You know, it's not my favorite Vased ever, but I really, really like it. Between this one and the Raccoon that I recently got in with the top liner lock, and hopefully I'm allowed to show this, the Vased Mini Nightshade. I got this Ultim collab exclusive with CountyCom in. This thing's awesome, by the way, guys. It's got 3 settings, so you can actually set your spring a little bit. And this is the lowest one, and somehow it's perfect out of the box for me. Vased just continues to absolutely slay in 2024. I got to tell you, Vased's probably my #1 knife brand in 2024 at this point. They're just absolutely demolishing the competition. So big shout out to Vased on their excellent work this year. Keep it coming. And that is the Torus or Talosaurus, and I'm sorry, I'll never get that right, with the thumb disc there. Let me know what you guys think of this one. So there you go. That's 5 really cool knives, but totally different knives. And you guys let me know which one is your favorite. Which one would you pick up if you could have any of these right now? These are probably, except this one, are probably all going into the pass around group. But yeah, so let me know which one you would pick. And let me know if you have any questions or anything down below. There are links for everything. I have a Giant Mouse link and a discount code. I have a Vased link. I have the link for this one, and a link and discount code for this one. So check that description out. There's links for everything else too down there. And I love you guys. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day, and I will catch you later.